back, everyone. 15 minutes after the top of the hour. President Obama pushing his message of fair share when he appeared on 60 Minutes.
Either we have a system in which the people who have benefited the most from this new economy, either they're doing a little bit more or they're not. I think they should. Because, and this is not because I'm interested in punishing the rich. I want everybody to be rich. That's great. It has to do with the fact that the less I'm asking you or me to do, the more I'm asking somebody who's in a much tougher position to sacrifice.
But our next guest says President Obama's plan to make everyone rich is just turning America into the land of the envious and home of the victim. Star Parker, author of Uncle Sam's Plantation and the founder and president of the Center for Urban Renewal and Education, joins me to explain. Good morning to you, Star.
Good morning. It's good to be with you.
Thank you. What do you mean by those comments?
Well, there is a disdain for the wealthy in this president. And when you think about this new economy that he's discussing, the reason that poor people or those that are low-wage workers today are at risk and are suffering is because of these attacks on the wealthy. Their portfolios fell apart. And poor people are not poor because the wealthy are wealthy. In fact, it is the wealthy in the country that provide the employment for those that have less. You know, I know firsthand of what this president is discussing when he talks about class warfare and what it is he's trying to do to this country. I lived 7 years in and out of the welfare state, and it wasn't until after a Christian conversion that I got a control over my life, went to college, got a degree in business, and went into business. And once I was in business, that's when I found out about this disdain and how much liberals just hate the business that is conducted in this society, how much they hate the free market system and capitalism. And what he is doing is dividing this nation today, pitting the wealthy against those that have less means, and we will fall apart as a result.
You know, it's interesting because you say that actually something like raising the minimum wage ends up hurting the people who are on the poorer spectrum in America. What do you mean by that?
Well, it absolutely does. In fact, that has gotten little attention, why the poor are hurting the way that they are today, why the small businesses are not employed. Now, there are other factors, of course, but remember, it was Nancy Pelosi, when she had control of the House, that passed a bill that allowed for minimum wage to go up a couple of dollars, and President Obama signed into law shortly after he came to office. Well, when you have that type of increase against business, trying to develop employment during the time that the economy is already collapsing with these small businesses, they are not going to hire. And what it has done, it has escalated unemployment, especially in our hard-hit communities. The black unemployment rate against our youth is approaching 50%. Yeah. This is what an increase in the minimum wage has done to our harder-hit communities.
And so you talk about unemployment in the African-American community. Take a look at this poll. I know that you know this, but African Americans, 15.5% against the national average of 8.6%.
It is higher, but let's keep in mind now that in 2007, the unemployment rate was also high in the black community. It was about 8%, so it has doubled, the same way our society has doubled. The challenge for blacks in this country is that they live in pockets there that liberals have controlled for a long time. So there's aggressiveness. There's aggressive taxation with excess tax over most of our cities. There's aggressiveness with liberal policies of environmental protections, if you'll call them that, and the excessive regulation. So most of the employment in these harder hit communities come from these small businesses that there's this disdain out of this Barack Obama administration toward. So we can't fix ourselves until we really have serious discussions about the excessive taxation and the excessive regulation against the business community.
All right.